No conversation, get it, not complicated. No conversation, please say less. Please say less. Please say less.
I'm blessed, I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes on yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got, you ain't go. Say less. Say less. Say less.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The Buccaneers have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Falcons going up against the Buccaneers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurate.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
Third and long. It's Ryan. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
On second down, here's Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The starting defense for the Falcons.
When Atlanta drafted Desmond Trufant and Robert Alford, they thought they were going to get some young corners that would grow into the job, and boy, have they been right. Desmond Trufant, Pro Bowl in 2015. Unfortunately, hurt in 2016. Wasn't able to play in the Super Bowl. Might have been the difference down the stretch against the New England Patriots.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 21 carries, 90 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 carries, 90 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. Plenty of scoring here already. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Working out of the gun, Winston. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, of one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And that's the first connection. The number 1 overall pick in 2015 finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Complete. He finds Braid. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A Buccaneer first. Winston to Braid.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First down, Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. Second down, Winston. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a second down throw for Winston. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Bucs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Here we go. Green, 39.
First toss of the game here for the backup Barkley. A dump off to Sims. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver, and it's second down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Now Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
On first down, Ryan. And it's caught over the middle, Hooper. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Throwing again, Ryan. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. throwing now. Ryan on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Noah spins in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On second down, Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Buccaneers are down right now, but they have to feel like they're still in it. The Falcons have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. 3rd and goal. Mohamed Sanu, the catch over the middle, and it leads to a touchdown. They strike first in the half. 2nd and 2 coming up. They run. It's Devontae Freeman. And this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. The lead now at 14. Falcons ball early in the second. Freeman's going to use solid blocking to break free. He gone as he sprints to the end zone. Now 1st and 10 as they go up here at 21-0. Winston looking in the direction of Mike Evans, and he finds him. And he'll be tackled at their own 39-yard line. But they end up coming away with just 3 on the drive. So that's it for us. We'll go back down to Tampa for the start of the second half.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
3rd and long for Winston. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Ooh, with a juke. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Freeman again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So it'll be first down here after the run. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On third down, Ryan fighting through. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 18 yards there and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Ryan on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. To throw on 3rd down. Ryan firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. They'll run here with Freeman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up on the corner, Tremaine Brock. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a three-score game, though, fourth quarter. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. That'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
2nd and 5, and on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And Brake has it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A first down throw for Winston. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Winston now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Jameis to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On second down, Winston again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Rashid Hageman in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Open man has got one. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So they're operating in the red zone. Jameis now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Second down now after the incompletion. From the gun, Winston. This is caught. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have
back on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Now the first carry for Brian Hill. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A second down throw for Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
They can keep that running theme and get into the locker room with a win. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Falcons on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. The Falcons on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.